And I'm Tori Broussard. This week we will recap last week's game against Texas Tech, give you an inside look at the Alumni Center as we prepare for homecoming, and introduce you to some new NCAA rules.
What makes Mark and his glassblowing hobby unique is not just the pieces he makes, but the people he impacts. Ingrid Hendricks, the program coordinator of the Multi-Art Center and one of Mark's previous glassblowing students, says that everybody needs an instructor like Mark.
Welcome back to Countdown to Tip-Off. I'm Tori Broussard. I'm standing inside Eskimo Joe's clothes, and if you have not gotten any gifts for your Valentine's this Valentine's Day, stop by the store before and after the game. Favorite movie?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Favorite spot on campus?
My parking place.
And where is your parking place by chance?
It's right outside my door here.
Okay. My favorite question. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
You know, they're both good rappers, but my grandson's, I think, better.
Bud and Pat Chamberlain have lived out in the secluded countryside of Stillwater, Oklahoma for 10 years and married for a solid 58. The couple lives a modest life. Bud was once a military man and Pat a homemaker before they both decided to retire. However, they're anything but retired. The two pass the time doing what they've always done, taking care of other people.
Bud and Pat are one of many volunteers who keep a program called Mobile Meals running. Once a week, the couple comes here to the Stillwater Medical Center to deliver hot lunches to the elderly and homebound residents of Stillwater.
Mobile Meals delivers 100 meals daily with the help of 75 weekly volunteers. The director for Mobile Meals, Carolyn Hunger, has been with the organization for 9 years and says she is blessed because of the people she gets to work with every day.
I get to see all of these folks every week, and the really another really neat thing is knowing all the clients. I have met hundreds and hundreds of people in Stillwater that I would never have met had I not taken on this position.
Yeah, let me see.
Residents like Preston and Geraldine receive meals and get to see the Chamberlains every Wednesday during their route. Although the food is important to them, the company is appreciated even more.
They don't only bring us food. You can tell they're checking on both of us. And if we aren't both right here in front of them, they want to know about the other.
For now, the Chamberlains continue to be involved with many community activities, but know that one day they might need someone the way the Wilsons do now. It's the thought that keeps them humble and knowing how valuable simple conversations can be. When it comes to admiration, both couples feel the same about each other. For O State TV, I'm Tori Broussard. For some of us, it's become a habit. People have become so attached to their phones that it's become second nature to text and drive. It is so common, people often don't realize its negative impact. 77% of young adults are very confident or somewhat confident they can text while driving. In 2011, 1.3 million crashes were a result of texting while driving. Despite the overwhelming statistics, Oklahoma is one of 4 states without a texting while driving law. Last October, pressure from the public and legislators led Representative Terry O'Donnell to champion House Bill 1965.
I have daughters that are 14 and 16. They are absolutely glued to their phones. And it was those statistics that moved me to champion this bill.
On January 31st, 2 Oklahoma Highway Patrol officers, Trooper Nicholas Dees and Trooper Keith Birch, were struck by a vehicle while investigating an accident on the interstate. Dees died while Birch was left paralyzed. This created more pressure for a ban on texting while driving in Oklahoma. In an effort to increase support for House Bill 1965, Representative O'Donnell changed the name of the bill to honor the troopers.
And it was awful. He and I and some of the other representatives actually went to the highway patrol in here, and we watched the video of this car just plowing down these 2 highway patrolmen, and it's gruesome.
In February, advocacy group Generation Text visited the Capitol to speak with legislators about House Bill 1965. However, program coordinator Christy Blindstone says there wasn't as much support for the bill as she thought there would be.
Is anybody against this issue, this becoming a measure, a bill, a law for Oklahoma? You could have heard a pin drop. It was just silent. That was in a group setting. There was probably at least 50 people in the room. But when you speak to people one-on-one, you'll find out that, okay, I don't think they're really an ally on this side of this measure.
Some legislators are still opposed to the bill. Those who are see the bill as intrusive and fear police officers will be able to pull anyone over on a suspicion of texting while driving. In an interview with the Insurance Journal, Oklahoma Senator Ralph Shorty said, "Just because we say don't text and drive doesn't mean they are going to stop doing it. The only thing that is going to happen is that people are going to do it more dangerously."
On average, it takes 5 seconds to read a text. If you are driving 55 miles per hour, that means you've traveled the length of a football field without paying attention to the road. If pulled over, drivers will face up to a $100 fine.
Originally, House Bill 1965 passed as a secondary offense with 38 yeses and 6 noes. The passage of the bill would have meant that texting while driving alone is not sufficient enough for police officers to pull someone over. However, the bill has been amended to a primary offense, meaning police can pull someone over for texting and driving alone. The amendment will be voted on at a later date. If it passes, the bill will go into effect November 1st.
I do believe that behaviors for a lot of people will change. They will think twice about it before they reach for their phone.
For O State TV, I'm Tori Broussard. Tracy Addock-Zins, a Seattle, Washington native, is a former DePaul University softball player and is now the assistant coach of the Oklahoma State Cowgirls softball team. After graduation from DePaul, she took her talents to the Czech Republic. Later, she attended graduate school at South Dakota State University. While there, she became a member of the Chicago Bandits in the National Pro Fast Pitch for 3 years. Upon her tenure with NFP, she held a job in Wisconsin for 4 years before taking her journey a little further south to join the Cowgirl family.
Well, I was more just watching kids that we had already committed, getting to familiarize myself with who we have coming in the next 2-3 years.
Aside from the different speeds and pitches Oklahoma State softball fans can expect to see this season, Tracy says there is another attribute her team possesses.
I think what you can expect to see on the mound this year is competitors. That's one of the biggest things that I'm a proponent of, is kids that compete. Even if you give up a walk, a hit, a home run, anything, I just want to make sure they put their nose down and keep working and understand that they've prepared themselves to the best they can, that they know that they can get it done no matter what, even if it's not necessarily their A day.
2 sophomore pitchers, Megan Lively from Monroe, Louisiana, and Brandy Needham, a transfer from Illinois, are anticipated to be top pitchers this season, but the entire roster will contribute this season. For O State TV, I'm Tori Broussard.
It all comes down to the 5 young men and 5 young women. But by the end of Saturday, there can only be 1 homecoming king and 1 homecoming queen. Let's meet the candidates.
Interview skills and a stellar GPA are just a few things candidates need to have if they want to be a part of Oklahoma State's homecoming royalty. To be named homecoming king and queen, candidates need to stand out both at OSU and in the community while showing their school spirit. During homecoming week, royalty finalists are expected to attend every event leading up to the reveal of king and queen. Each candidate wears orange and black to every homecoming event, paired with an orange sash to represent their place on the court.
An ideal royalty candidate would be someone who is involved at OSU, both on campus and off campus, meaning community service is important as well, and then has, exceeds scholastically, has a good GPA, and also has a ton of OSU spirit because they will be the ones representing Oklahoma State.
Although many believe homecoming royalty is simply about getting a crown, One candidate says she's just happy to be a part of the homecoming experience for the first time.
It's been really, really fun so far. I love the other people on Royalty. They're really, really great. And just being able to experience all of homecoming for the first time is really, really awesome. It's really just taught me to appreciate Oklahoma State and all the people who make homecoming possible, and everyone who comes out to things like Harvest Carnival and to Football Frenzy and all the events we have coming up this week. It's just really taught me to appreciate the experience and the process and really just appreciate homecoming for what it is.
Cole Griffin, a senior architectural engineering major from Jenks, Oklahoma, says after discovering what it takes to prepare for America's greatest homecoming, he has a greater appreciation for the event.
It's a much larger deal than you really understand just from participating in the one or two events that really capture your eye.
Both Amber and Cole say they will be happy with whoever takes home the title of King and Queen. Being part of such a memorable experience is the crown to their senior year.
Homecoming King and Queen will be announced during halftime at today's game against West Virginia. So no matter what the score of the game is, there will be a lot of excitement on the field.